What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Power Play with CJ. I want to answer a question. I saw there was a rumor going around last week that Pittsburgh and Minnesota were talking about a possible Paul Martin and a first-round pick to the Wild from Pittsburgh for Dany Heatley. And that possible move intrigues me in a number of different ways, and we'll talk about that right off the bat cap-wise. Paul Martin's making $5 million, Heatley's making $7.5. Pittsburgh got $9 million in cap space, so they can eat that $2.5 pretty easily. And then Pittsburgh's got a ton of young defensemen knocking on the door. Brian Dumoulin, Joe Morrow, Derek Pouliot, Olimata. Out of those guys, and obviously Simone Dupree, who will be on the team anyway. I think Dumoulin's definitely the most pro-ready out of those three, with Morrow, Pouliot, and Dupree. Out of Morrow and Pouliot, Dumoulin, I think Dupree's actually the most ready. Dumoulin's second, so misworded myself. From what I saw, Dumoulin for the last 3 years at BC, World Juniors, gold and a bronze at the WJC, 2 national championships at BC. What more can you say about the kid? I think he's ready to contribute in the NHL. He's the best defensive defenseman in Hockey East and still averaged about a point a game as a defenseman, so that's all I need to know. I thought last year he was the most pro-ready defenseman in the NCAA, and that includes Schultz. So Justin Schultz, so you look at what, and I think he filled that role beautifully, and I think Pittsburgh's got the young defenseman knocking on the door, and I think Minnesota's got the young forwards knocking on the door. You got Granlund, Coyle, Zucker, Ballmer, Phillips. I think I'm leaving someone out. But those kids are ready to earn a roster spot, and Heatley's kind of, dogging it in Minnesota, and here's why I think Pittsburgh should take the risk. I think it's kind of like the Pats acquiring Randy Moss from the Raiders. Moss, Heatley dogged it in both Northern California and Minnesota, so there's a geographical similarity. But, when they made the deal, there was no BS. Belichick, Brady, Kraft sat down and said, look, this is what's going to happen. You want to win a ring, this is what you got to do. And obviously, didn't win a ring in New England, sore subject. But, I think that's going to be the same thing with Bilesma, Lemieux, and Crosby. It's come down to, look, here's the deal, kid. You dogged it in Minnesota last year. You dogged it in Ottawa. You shot your way out of Ottawa. You underachieved in San Jose playing with Thornton. This is your last shot at a ring. Heatley ain't getting any younger. Let's stop kidding ourselves. This is a kid I thought was going to score 600 goals even as recently as 3-4 years ago. And after dogging it, especially last year in Minnesota, Dany F and Heatley, all-star. But I really think he'll be 32 on January 21st. So that's how old he is. I remember he had a goal a couple years ago against the Bruins, against Hanu Toy, and the puck was laying in the crease, and he just knocked it in. My father, who followed him since the time he was at Wisconsin, said that kid's going to score 600 goals in the NHL, and that was just the easiest. And you really thought at that point in time he was an upward trending guy, signed that big extension with Ottawa, and then wanted out, shot his way out of there. Didn't do what he was brought in to do in San Jose, which is get him out of the Western Conference. And last year in Minnesota just really didn't care. As he had a career low year. And obviously the horrendous car accident in Atlanta, I wouldn't fault that on him for. I think most importantly, he's why he wanted out of Atlanta. I mean, do you really want to be reminded of that every time you're there? And I think that's something that he got. And obviously it was a horrific thing. It took Snyder's life, but give him the benefit of the doubt on that. But I think going forward with Ottawa and with San Jose, especially with Ottawa, the immaturity factor was really not what you expect on a player of that caliber. And he's got to get past that. I think playing with guys like Crosby, playing with guys like Malkin can do that for him. And I think Martin, being a Minnesota guy, being a former Gopher, can really complement Suter's game pretty well. Not necessarily in the same tandem, but being a number 2 guy behind Suter. I don't know if Tom Gilbert's that guy, but Martin can definitely be a number 2 guy. And obviously Minnesota's been going for all the former Gophers and Badgers and fighting Sioux. And former Gopher in that mix will definitely help him out. Anyway, that's all I got in this episode of the Power Play with CJ. Let me know on what you have to say about this possible move and any other moves definitely Pittsburgh could make to find Crosby the scoring winger they've lacked since Heatley's former team, guy Heatley was traded for in Marion Hossa, departed for greener pastures back in 2008. That's all I got. Like I said, let me know, guys. Later.